Hello everyone, Yensid Organist here, and welcome to another episode of OrgelCraft. Hope you guys are having a great day today. In the last episode, we built a whole bunch of farms lining the corridors that we have in the Star Destroyer. This week, I am taking a break from building, and we are going to do a world tour. I teased that back in episode 25, when I was in the middle of, I think it was the Land Pavilion project. And I said I didn't want to do that because I was engrossed in that project, and maybe we'd do it at episode 30. Well, it's episode 30, so we are going to do a world tour. Now, I have some things that I do want to do in the Star Destroyer, so I'm going to be working on those off of camera. But for now, we are going to head back to the overworld and see everything that has been done in this world so far. Welcome to where it all started. This little island here is where I spawned into this world and was immediately greeted with a village right over here, which became the first real project for this series. Also have a shulker here who has been sent from the end to be part of the shulker farm, which we'll see a little bit later. I don't know how many of you know this. I know some of you do, but this whole channel series world started as an April Fool's joke on my main channel back in April of 2019, and here we are 3 seasons later, 150 episodes, I believe, plus or minus. There's a couple of bonus episodes in there. Yeah, it's been quite a journey that we've been on. But this is the house that I built in the very first episode. It's my little starter house. Still have a whole bunch of junk in here from the early days of the... Is that... Oh, I thought those were netherite boots. Yeah, from the early days of the season. But so what I started by doing was basically completely transforming this village that was kind of set here. And so went through, and basically all of the houses that you see, or at least most of them, were original structures that I then rebuilt in the style of my starter house over there. But if you look here, you can see this was, the church structure that was originally made out of cobblestone. I actually turned this into my first little storage building. I don't know if there's anything still in here. Whoops. Ew, logs. Yeah, I didn't leave too much. And then I think my precious resources were down here. I wonder if there's any diamonds in here. Probably not. I probably took those all with me. Yeah. But yeah, so spent some time working on this. It was really kind of some interesting terrain that I tried to maintain as much as possible. So we had a library up here on the hill, which I redid. And then if we come down around, I know I did add a bunch of houses to the place, just to kind of try to fill it out. Added these little townhouses. This was a little micro crop farm. And then over here, there was actually, if we come around here, I don't know if you can see it from here. So there was this crop farm that was literally stuck in the middle of the hillside. And so one of the things that I did was to build out a little cave here to have some access to that. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, and then let's see. Let's actually fly up here. Eventually put a wall around it. There were villagers here at some point. Apparently there are still a few. I don't know how they ended up on the wall. Yeah, but so put a wall to protect. The entire village is spawn-proofed. Spawn-proofed for early days, before the light level changes. But yeah, you can kind of get a view of everything that is in here. Did some terraforming on the pond down here. Went through and completely took all the sand out of the little inlet here. Tree farm is up here, which I guess is a little out of date now. There's a couple more trees that we could put in there. In this valley down here, I tucked a house that I built with my daughter on an early stream. And so we built this house together. So this is technically her house. It's not decorated or anything on the inside. I don't know why these torches are here. We don't need those anymore. That's that. And what else? So there's a little tunnel through here under the farm. My nether portal is hidden right back there. Have a little stable over here with some various different animals. We have more houses. I have an automatic melon, pumpkin, and bamboo sugarcane farm here, which is sometimes producing things. Oh, wow. Okay, if I ever need pumpkins, there are here, and I'm pretty sure I still have a decent stash of melons. Oh, look at that. Ooh, and that's full, and that's full. Okay, good to know. I don't know if these are in spawn chunks or not. I believe they're in the spawn chunks, but I don't think they actually work. But yeah, so all kinds of little things dotted in here. That was a 0-tick bamboo farm, which no longer works. We had a library over here, which had my first enchanting setup. Also had my first mending villager, who I think I rescued from here. Yeah, had a little mini super smelter over here. And then, like I said, was trying to get very creative with the terrain and trying to maintain as much of it as possible. So added some retaining walls in places. I think this pond was here. And just turned it into a little river that runs through the town. There's a little secret staircase here. Brings you up to the farm. And yeah, and did all kinds of detailing, did some little custom trees, bushes, you know, all the things that you do. And this was a decent length project. I don't know how many episodes I spent working on this, but you know, it grew to be quite the little village. I have a flower farm over here. Yeah, but really enjoyed working on this project. I'd like to do another village transformation like this at some point, because this was a lot of fun to work on. You know, and smaller scale projects, you know, that you could do, you know, you could accomplish a lot in a short period of time. So that's where this all started. I don't want to linger too much here because there's a lot of world to see. So one of the other projects for that first season, well, there were basically 3 things that I worked on in the first season. Was this village transformation, building up a base, and then getting an industrial area set up. The first season was really all about setting this world up for success, building the things that I would need to run the world long term. There is a permanent end crystal that we stole last season. Over here, there's a little pathway. One of my ongoing goals for this season is to have everything in the world connected by paths and things like that. As you see, we're riding the monorail here that I used to kind of connect all of the Season 1 areas. And that's something that I'm going to be expanding as well as we go forward. This is actually a replica of the very first house I ever built in my first Minecraft world. Thought it would be fun to plop that down here. But as you can see, coming up here, we have the industrial area. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Yeah, so we have the industrial area over here, which has grown over the seasons. It started out with a single mob farm, which I then later expanded to 4, and 2 of those are just for creepers and, well, you know, spiders. I feel like something's missing up there. Ah, well. But yeah, so here we are arriving at the industrial station. And so, yeah, so like I said, started out with a mob farm, a really old iron farm. Went back when you had to have, you know, lots of different setups for things like that. Yeah, so it's still a very high-powered iron farm, and I still get a lot out of it, so I do a lot of AFKing there. But what else do we have? So over here is a when we updated, I actually managed to get find a geode that was reasonably close. So it's actually right here. So we have a geode slash glow squid farm. I was going to say, where are my axolotls? They should be killing the glow squid. I only see one. There should be two in here, at least. Oh, yep, they're all stuck down here. Okay. I forget how to get out. There's a door. There we go. Yeah, it had the nice benefit of glow squid would spawn in there, so, yeah, doing double duty with that, and then everything gets piped up to the surface. But yeah, what else do we have here? So we have a massive sugarcane farm built up here. We have the moss farm that we just built in the end, a ridiculously, disgustingly overpowered cactus farm that I've currently turned off. We have a semi-automatic crop farm over here, because you can only do that semi-automatically. Cow farm that I recently built. There is a glow lichen generating station there. I have a farm for the warped stems, which I also want to put in the end. This was supposed to be a TNT-powered tree farm. It looks really cool. It doesn't work very well. Yeah, let's see. So this is the industrial area, but I have a lot of farms that are kind of dotted all over the world. So because they're going to take a while to get to, I'm just going to kind of jump around to all of the other farms so that you can kind of get an overview to what's in this world. I will do one thing because you'll be able to see it from here. So I have an overworld nether shulker farm that is over here. That was quite the feat to get built. And then, of course, the entire farm is built one block too low, so instead of all the shulkers spawning where they're supposed to in the nether, half of them spawn on the nether floor, and then I have to go in and take them out. So, always fun, but I think I've AFK'd at the shulker farm once, and I still haven't needed to refresh anything. So, yeah, so let's just cut through now and take a look at all of the other farms. Not so much a farm, but this is my beacon mine. I have 3 beacons set up so that I can mine a huge area here. Also have some automatic sorting set up, and then I have my Mason Villager trading hall down here where I can get lots of emeralds and then also get other things that I need. This is the lower level of my Guardian farm. I was very confused for a second because my mob switch is on, but clearly there were Guardians that were left over from the last time I was here. Yeah. Yeah, this was an early project of tearing down the monument and building up the Guardian farm. Over here is my automatic squid farm. This is where I get all of my black dye. And then if we fly over here, I have a partially broken flower farm. So I built this flower farm to be able to get all the different types of flowers over here in the flower forest. However, I built this before, I think that's what activates. I built this before they made changes to how stuff generates, and it used to be that your coordinates determined the flower that grew. That got changed in an update, and now it's dependent on not only your X and Z coordinates, but also by your Y coordinates. And so the flowers that generate here are not the right ones, so I don't actually get all of them anymore. So I need to come back and work on this at some point. This is the largely defunct ice farm. It works. It requires a lot of AFKing to get enough ice, and it, of course, only generates normal ice, and so you have to compress it down, and I think, like, one running of this farm gets me maybe a stack and a half of blue ice. So I find that it's much faster to just go to an ice biome and, yeah, and just mine it that way. But it's here, and it's there if I ever need it. So moving into the nether, over here there is a blaze farm I have with a double blaze spawner. Not fully automatic, but it's pretty effective one with how we're able to move them out. And then if we fly right over here, we have the Wither Skeleton farm, which I am still in the process of optimizing. But that is right down here. And come on up in here, maybe so you can see we can get all of our Wither Skeletons to join us for a little bit of a party. If we drag them all the way down to the end, we're getting quite a few of them here. They'll all wander up here, and you'll notice there's a portal behind here, because this isn't just for killing the Wither Skeletons. It is for sending them to the overworld. Ooh, we got a skull from that. Sweet. But there's a better way to get skulls, and that is to head to the overworld through this portal up here, which brings me to my charged creeper farm. So I have a creeper platform there, and then all of the Wither Skeletons end up here, where I'm able to get charged creepers. So I have the resource pack that allows me to summon a thunderstorm over there. It's kind of expensive. It costs another star to get. Yeah, we can do that, and so then I can get a 1-for-1 trade on the Wither Skeletons by using charged creepers to get their skulls. So here is our frog farm. Frog-light farm, I guess I should say. Built here in a basalt delta, and have a AFK platform up there, which I have to be careful because ghasts can occasionally spawn here. But magma cubes spawn, and then the powdered snow reduces them to their smallest form so that the frogs can get them and turn them into froglights. An absolutely absurd distance away from everything else is a ghast tier farm that I made. This is where we're going to have to come to be able to do the Uneasy Alliance achievement. But yeah, 3,600 blocks out? Yeah, it's a little ridiculous. And that is that. So, I think part of the charm of the Season 1 area is the monorail, so we are going to continue to ride this. I was trying to make the most of some unique terrain that was generated with this world, and so I have added a few things here and there. Most of this is just a scenic ride, but I have worked on, I've built one house of what is a future project that I definitely want to come back here, but there's a shattered savanna over here, and so I want to build a whole cliffside village. I think that would be really cool. So we'll see that as we come up here. It's kind of funny, looking back on the first season of this world, how big everything felt. I feel like this is like so far away from the original village, and still so far from the base. I don't know if I have my render distance cranked high enough, but you might actually see the base come into view over there. Not quite. But so there is the house. I'm gonna actually jump into free cam so that you can see it. So this little house is built up here, but I want to build a whole village out of these. But you can see there's a very rickety little path up there, which is kind of cool. And then going through the tunnel, this was in the first episode. I put a big April Fool's Day sign right in here, which I took down because people were asking to continue the series, so I was like, it's not a joke. I kind of wish I'd left the sign now. But anyway, as you can see, we are coming up on the base area. The storage building is coming into view over there, and very soon we will see the base. Very early on in the first season, I knew that I wanted to design a base modeled after Spaceship Earth from Epcot. I actually tried this project in my in one of my first forays into Minecraft, playing on my iPhone, which was quite the challenge to try to build something like that. But I liked how it looked, and I liked the idea of this being modeled after not only the show building for Spaceship Earth, but also the ride itself. So we're actually we will take the tour through the base, and I'll show you everything that we did in there. But it was a fun project trying to figure out how to stuff everything in there. Yeah, and so, you know, playing with both function and style and design and things like that. So as you can see, we've got some flower beds. That's where my bed ended up. I was looking for this. All right, now I'm taking it with me because I don't like the orange one. Bee farm over here. Sheep farm over here. Ignore the mess that's sitting right there. Project board of all the things that I want to do at some point. But yeah, so here we have the entrance to the base. This is a map of the Season 1 area, or most of it. You can see we've got the industrial district there, the original village, and the base. So if we come in here, we can hop into the minecart and head up into the base. So this first section is my storage room, where we have all of the different things that I could possibly need. It's kind of running low on supplies because I keep coming in here and not resupplying things. Up here we have an Egyptian pyramid. Inside is a sugarcane and cactus and bamboo farm, all automatic. Don't use those very much anymore. Up here we have a little trading boat, and there is a cow farm in there, and another one of the micro crop farms down below. What is that doing there? And I'm stuck. Why am I stuck? Okay, that's new. Don't know why this is here. Don't know why that got stuck. Anyway, this is a potion brewer designed by Pixel Riffs. So whenever I need potions, I come here for that. Over here is the input for the super smelter. Up here is my villager trading hall. I'm going to go up to the next little station here. And we'll just pop into free cam. So this is where all of my librarian villagers are. All the ones that I started with, all the ones that I thought that I would need. I've now expanded to a second librarian trading hall in the end with all the books. But then I also have a cleric. I had 2 clerics. I think they've somehow managed to wander out of their pens that they shouldn't be able to escape from. Yeah, but it's got some masons in there, cartographer. I have all of the professions represented in here. Yeah, so armorers, toolsmiths, weaponsmiths, Fletcher, all of those in there. This is a stone/cobblestone/basalt generator, which will probably never need the basalt generator after clearing out a basalt delta. This is a tree growing farm, which broke the ceiling. Don't look too closely. Up here I have a concrete converter and a snow farm. And then this was my first little housing area. It's based after a garage, but I've got some storage. In here is a armor equipping station. Gets you everything you need if you die. I never set my spawn on this bed. So I never come back here, and I don't even know if there's stuff in here anymore. Pants. Yeah, it looks like... Oh, are these bows any good? No, they are not. And of course, our faithful companion to live streams, my cat Emma, who passed away earlier this year, made in memorial in map art here. So that is the base, and then, of course, the finale to this, which was revealed in the final episode, was this 25-map art project of the world, representing what the finale of the Spaceship Earth ride is. And then you're supposed to kind of look up and be mesmerized by this starry field here in the middle. Yeah, so I know this is kind of a quick tour of the base. I will put a link in the cards to the season finale from from season 1, where I went in a much more in-depth tour of all of these things. So it's very, very slow getting down to the bottom here, and I'm trying to just talk and fill time so that you actually get the whole ride. Here we go. Don't know what to do about that. I was cutting things very tight, so you can see some of the quartz of the outside structure. But yeah, so we get dumped off here. This is a little bit of a trophy area. So you can see if I had first pickaxe, first sword, the dragon egg, which we beat in episode 13. That was for getting the monster hunter achievement, which I probably don't currently have. This is Steve, the zombie doorman. So this showed up in... I think one of my live streams. So I used to have wooden doors on the front of the base to keep mobs out while I was working on it. Well, a zombie broke down the door, managed to actually activate the ride and get himself stuck inside holding the door. He tragically perished. I forget what happened. But yeah, he dropped a golden helmet, so he is forever memorialized here. This is... I beat a level 5 raid and only got this cookie. It was a challenge from the last season. This was from the first raid. This is still an unfinished achievement of bringing the Aghast to the overworld. Tried and failed. This was first village raid, completely by accident, in episode 6. Survived and took the banner. So, yeah, and then they have the chorus farm over here, and this Enderman who is permanently stuck. So he just lives there, overseeing the chorus farm. I think it's nighttime. It is nighttime, which is fine, because, as you know from the last episode, I have a mob switch. So, don't need to worry about that. Obviously, this is the land pavilion that we have been working on this season. And then if we come over here... Oh, wait, have to show off. One of the things I loved about the old Epcot was they used to have these sidewalks that had fiber optic cables in them, and so you would get these glowing light patterns at night, and I wanted to replicate that. So I made this map in the end, which, of course, we had to tear down to build the Star Destroyer. But that map is forever locked, so that is here. I actually heard that they are bringing that back to Epcot, which I'm very excited about. This whole area is spawn-proofed, and nothing can get through the walls or up from the various waterways. Here is my statue of Figment. And then over here is the bulk storage building based on the Imagination Pavilion at Epcot that we built last season. And so we have large... item storage, things I get lots of items for, which, I just not overly full right now because I've had to steal a lot of these resources. And then other things that I would have need for in bulk, but probably wouldn't have as much, are stored in this area here, except of course for endstone. This is where I had to expand. Yeah, because I have just a little bit of endstone. I have just a little bit of endstone. Yes, this is full. This is from taking down the entire end island, main end island. And I didn't save all of it either. So there's also a decent amount of obsidian from taking down all the obsidian pillars. I actually have a few bays over here that do not have anything in them, and we definitely have some things that we could use to expand. Do I have wool over here? I have some, not much. Okay. But so that is about it for the Season 1 part of the world. I can't think of anything else. So let's hop into the Nether and take a look at our rooftop Nether hub, which you've probably seen in some episodes, but I don't necessarily keep that in. So, early on, we got access to the Nether roof, and I have a Nether hub built up here. We built a gold farm, piglin gold farm up there. You can also see the other part of the shulker farm. But we have, yeah, all of the portals are, most of the portals that I need are linked with carpets that signify what roughly is there. One thing I do want to find, and no, that's not, what am I looking for? Oh, it's over here. So one of my side projects last season was actually a village transformation. So my favorite resort at Walt Disney World is the Fort Wilderness campgrounds, and nope, apparently this is not the Fort Wilderness campgrounds. So what's this? Oh, I wonder if I took that portal down. Yep, okay. Yeah, so this was a taiga village that I transformed to look like the cabins from Fort Wilderness. It's a bit of a walk through this trail, so that's the trail. We're going to take the shortcut. Yeah, it's a long trail. I was right to take the shortcut. I thought that I had a portal over here. Now I can't find the village. Where is it? Here it is. Here it is. Or at least closer. So some of the village, I think I left some of the stuff from it. But basically tore everything down and rebuilt all of these cabins here. And these are actually all fully furnished. They're also all identical. But yeah, so this is a recreation that I did of the Fort Wilderness cabins. And so when you come in, you have this little kitchenette area, living room area with a TV and a dining room table. You have a bathroom in here, and then oh, hi! Apparently there are still villagers here. Yeah, so there's a queen bed and a couple of bunk beds. But yeah, like I said, definitely my favorite place to stay at Walt Disney World. And yeah, so came here and, kind of terraformed the area and built a whole bunch of these cabins. Put a little swimming pool in there. And yeah, had a lot of fun working on this project. So, alright, back to the Nether Hub. Because it is time to move on from Season 1 and go to the Season 2 part of the world, which was my recreation of the Kingdom of Arendelle from Frozen. Spent the entire season not only building the castle, but also building an the entire town, including the terrain, from scratch. We started on a live stream looking for a place that would, you know, that would work with the terrain, and I ended up not using any of the terrain at all and completely building over it, as you will see when we get over here. So this is Arendelle closed. Oh, yes. I'm actually playing on a backup of the world because there is a mod that allowed me to have reindeer. And so I wanted to make sure that I didn't accidentally load this. And so, yeah, but we are safe to do it. Sven is going to be a pig. We're just going to have to deal with that. Yeah, but so let's go ahead and I don't need this to come with me. Let's go ahead and hop on through. And now the portal brings you out at the castle gates, but I'm not going to show that just yet. I'm going to walk across the bridge into the town to where we started this season and everything that we did. So the first thing that I did after doing a whole bunch of terraforming was to create this little village square here that's right off the bridge, right off the docks, to kind of get my kind of get my bearings, kind of get a feel for the style that I wanted for the village and the build style, and then also the scale of everything, and did a lot of playing around with this. But yeah, we have a whole bunch of shops here. This one on the corner was my this was my home. Oh, there's shulker boxes in here. Is there anything? Oh, there's all kinds of good stuff in here. Huh, who knew? Yeah, but so this was kind of my starter house, and then several of the what am I saying? The buildings here have interiors, not all of them. But I made maps as we went along so that you can kind of see the progress here. So I feel like this should be done later. But yeah, so episode 12, episode 17, episode 25, episode 48, went a long way in between. But you can kind of see the changes. And then if we go up top, I think there's a couple more. So this is episode 63. You can see a lot has changed if I phase through the floor over here. So this was the kind of the original terrain that was here with the beginning part of the village. And then, as you can see, I've now terraformed all of this over top, and then come through and doing a whole bunch of detailing. So I'm not going to go through all of these buildings because, once again, I will also link my Season 2 finale where I did a full world tour of this, and I did go into all of the buildings, so you can kind of see all of that. But we will let's take a little bit of a walk through the town, where you can kind of see played with building on diagonals and all kinds of things like that, and just adding all kinds of different houses. Trying to remember the number. So all of these houses are built by hand, obviously. I think it's over 140 houses in the town. And so, we had the downtown area, and then it quickly expanded to the village up here. And I was going to crank my render distance. I actually don't need to because I have not finished the cliff walls. You can kind of see, and we will get up there as we go. You'll also notice all custom trees in this area. This is actually a resource pack that I use. I used one that I found, and then I expanded upon it. So basically what I did was I went through and I designed all of my trees. I think I designed most of them in survival. I know I designed some in creative, but different sizes of trees. They're also, as you'll see, I have a whole bunch of orchards. And so what the resource pack allows me to do is it allows me to use saplings and a large amount of bone meal so that I can grow custom trees. I was trying to figure out a way that I could, do all custom trees in this part of the world, but also not drive myself insane by having to build them all by hand. So the resource pack was a good compromise to be able to have custom trees, still doing the work to design them and using, fairly precious resources to be able to grow it. But yeah, and so there is still detailing as we start to get up into the mountains here. You'll see there's still some detailing work that needs to be done. Apparently, I've left some project stuff here. Yeah. Oh, I know what I was trying to say earlier. Obviously all of the houses built by hand. Actually, all of the houses are unique. I haven't replicated any of them, so it was not like, copy and paste. The design of the houses is almost identical for most of them. But what I did was I went through and set up a spreadsheet to randomly generate the block palettes for each of the houses. And so, like I said, okay, I'm going to use these types of woods and these logs and these things for roofs and things like that. And then generated from there all of the individual houses that you see. And then as you can see up here, I have been doing work of building up the cliffs, and this is all done by hand. This is all done in survival. Obviously, I have a long way to go on this project. I ended up wrapping Season 2 because it was kind of getting to the point where it was hard for me to come up with new content because it was like, okay, here's another episode where I'm building 10 houses, which is funny because I was doing episodes where I was building 50 houses. Those were special episodes. But, and so I was struggling with a little bit of burnout, but also a little bit of stagnant content. Hello, shulker boxes. Tell me these are full of stone. I'm going to have a fit if these are actually full. No, they're empty. Okay, good. I kept having to come through here and steal stone for the Star Destroyer. Yeah, but okay, so now that we're up here on the hill, let me crank my render distance up. Everything should be loaded now. So to get an idea of the scale of this project, I have cranked the render distance to 45 chunks. And there's the castle. So we are standing at the base of the cliffs, and there is our castle. And my PC is not happy about this. This is not a lag-friendly area at the best of times. With having all of this rendered in, a little bit of a challenge. I'm going to cut that down here in just a sec, but and if we drop in, so you to get an idea a little bit, this was not a good place to drop in. Just to get a little bit of an idea of the scope of what has been built up here. This is the underside. Yeah, didn't exactly use the terrain. I guess let's just go ahead and take a 1,000-foot overview of what all was built, because I should actually be able to get it within. If we pan back here, so you can kind of see where it's not quite finished yet. And so, like, the cliffs all need to go along there, and then all the way out into the fjord. And there's a whole area of village that needs to be built over here, which will happen at some point. But you can see, this was the work of Season 2. And yeah, this was an absolutely enormous project. It is by far the thing I am proudest of, just because of all the detail that has gone into all of this and all the work, gathering all these resources and building all this stuff. But I love this part of the world, and it's great to be back here. It's been a long time since I've been back here. now that the render distance is returned to normal, we can make our way back down through this path here, and then we'll go over and see the castle. From here, this path just kind of loops back around. We're going to take a shortcut to get back into town. And I think let's just go ahead and actually fly over. We'll land back in the square and head to the castle. It has been so long. Well, I haven't been here since we upgraded to 1.20, but so here is our castle courtyard. There is the chapel. We've got the walls that are all around here. There's actually a chamber inside. This is actually done the whole way around. There's not really anything to see in there. But yeah, still areas of this that need to be done. The entire castle interior is done, but I still want to do like a barracks over here for the Arendelle Guard. But we do have the chapel over here. I use, as you can kind of see, so there's a block that may look a little bit different here. So I did a custom resource pack. These are all glazed terracotta that I designed to kind of match the oh, now I'm going to forget the name of it. I think it's Rosmaling style that is used in Norwegian architecture and art and things like that. So you'll see, as we go inside, wallpaper that kind of reflects that. So, yeah, so you come in the front door, and this is the first Great Hall. There's a lot of challenge when it came to designing this castle because, from an architectural standpoint, the building can't exist. There are so many things you see in the movie that just don't work. For instance, the first Great Hall in one of the shorts, they go in and they're looking out windows that can't be there. So all of the rooms in here are decorated. And yeah, I'm not going to show all of them off because you can go and watch the full tour of this. This is the short version of the world tour, but then we have our little, I say short version, and this video is probably going to be an hour long. We have the half floor here, which is kind of like the servants' quarters, living area kind of thing. And then we'll get to the royal residences as we get upstairs. So this is the official second floor. We have like some meeting rooms. In one of these rooms is like a recreation room. Is it this one? It is, where I have a pool table and a dartboard. Fun with armor stands. And then here we have the second Great Hall, kind of the throne room, if you want to think of it like that, where we have Elsa or Anna's throne, depending on who you want. Why didn't I put 2? I should have just put 2. Oh well. Yeah, and then if we keep coming around, I think the kitchens are over here. Nope, this is a private dining hall. Where are the kitchens? Oh, the kitchens are probably down on the staff level. Yes, here are the kitchens. Kitchen 1, kitchen 2. And then we have a little balcony overlooking the arboretum here. I think arboretum is the word. No, observatory. That's what that is. There are servants' quarters in that little section. And then if we head down this hallway, I've never filled these hallways. I want to put some things in here, tables and things like that. But we will head in here and head upstairs. This is the 3rd floor. I believe these are, like, rooms for, I think, like, visiting dignitaries and, like live-in castle staff, but, like, you know, things like, you know, head of the household and, you know, things like that. And then I think the 4th floor, I believe this is the royal bedrooms. So, I think, I'm trying to remember. Those might be upstairs. No, those are upstairs. Okay. Previous floor was dignitaries. These are like the upper tier castle staff live on this floor. There is a, kind of a banquet hall room here with a balcony that will eventually be looking out on a canyon. Right now is not. I mean, it is. I just haven't built it up fully. Yeah, and then if we go up to the 5th floor, a long winding staircase. So then here we have, so this is technically it's called the library. This is kind of the fireplace room. This is where they play charades in Frozen 2. And then this is an office. Oh no, you know what? Downstairs were the royals' rooms. These are, so this is Elsa's office. We have the Season 2 map art, which is the 2 family portraits, the one of young Anna and Elsa, and then the modern-day version, which has a balcony here that overlooks the entire town, which you could see if I cranked the render distance, but I'm not going to. And then at the end of this hallway is the portrait gallery. And this is another part of the custom resource pack. So I went through and took all of the paintings from Frozen and Frozen 2, some of the concept art, and there are also a few Disney princesses splashed in here as well. And turned them into Minecraft. So went through and pixelated all of them so that they are the style of Minecraft paintings. But I'm sure you probably can recognize some of these if you've seen Frozen this from for the first time in forever. Yeah, and so that is all the artwork there. And that is our castle. So that is the Season 2 area. Like I said, there is definitely a lot of work that still needs to be done over here, including gathering a ridiculous amount of snow. But we can't leave Arendelle without paying a visit to probably one of the craziest projects. I say that having just shown you this. Yes, but, you know, I decided that, you know, we're doing Frozen. We have to do Elsa's Ice Palace. So where did I put it? Well, of course I put it in the Nether. So one of my prerequisites for choosing the location for Arendelle was I needed to have proximity to a basalt delta because of the particle effect that the ash brings. However, when you create a snowy mountain, the ash looks like snow. And so here we have Elsa's Ice Palace, backdropped by the North Mountain. And I have Optifine on. I have to turn the fog back on to make this work. So, surrounded a 100-block diameter circle with layers of glass so that we could build Elsa's Ice Palace and the North Mountain, and you get the snow effect from the ash, and the fog effect helps hide the fact that it is in the Nether. And then, again, a couple of custom textures in here just to give me a few more ice blocks to work with. But, yeah, we have the ice fountain here. And then if we go up and around the back, again, architecture in this building, I don't know how it works. Yeah, but we have the little room at the top with the chandelier and the balcony out front with the storm rage on. The cold never bothered me anyway, even though it's like, 150 degrees here in the nether. But so there is Elsa's Ice Palace. So that is it for Season 2. And, of course, the only way to currently get in and out of here is a single hole in the ceiling. Ahaha! I did it first try. Yeah. So that is that. And so let's go and take a look at what we've done this season. I need to turn the fog off. So even though I have a portal under the end gateway, I think it's better to approach this from a little bit of a distance. So at the start of this season, I hollowed out this entire area here where the end portal is located so that I could build a spaceport with the end portal inside an Imperial shuttle. And basically using this as a crater. This is roughly 300 blocks across. And then, yeah, have been slowly doing the terraforming and detailing around here to make it look more natural. And still have stuff to do with this. I need a actual building here to connect to this. But, yeah, I haven't taken my resource pack off yet. We step in here and fly to a galaxy far, far away. Now, as we've been working on this, I'm not going to show too much on this, but we will take a little bit of a tour through here. So here we have our main hangar, which is apparently refusing to load. Yeah, but we've been working on designing ships to go in here. All right, let's go. This is ridiculous. Force load by flying into the area. Yeah, but a couple of AT-AT walkers. We got the Millennium Falcon in here. Just recently in the other hangar, we designed and built some X-Wings. Have a Corellian Corvette that is out here that we built fairly early on in the season. Yeah, and then have just been working on building up the rest of the interior. So this was what I said I was going to be working on. Not quite finished, but I have been working on the port side hallway here, and of course there's nothing attached to it, but I have now boxed myself in several places. But yeah, so this hallway is now finished. I built it on a diagonal so we can fly down here. It does go all the way to the end down there. Here is our aft hallway, which we can take a little fly down here. This is the Enderman farm that we built recently. I have been absolutely astounded by the number of views. There's not a hole there, I promise. But yeah, the number of views that this episode got designing this, I was really quite impressed with that. And honestly, I'm quite impressed with the room and the design, and I'm very happy that it works. So yeah, so this is the main reactor of our Star Destroyer, but it is also our Enderman farm so that I can get levels in here. And then this is where most of the building has been occurring in here. So we have the eventual villager librarian trading hall that is over here. And rather than going down the hallway, over here I have a concrete converter, which has been very much needed. We built a whole bunch of farms in the last episode. I'm not really going to show those off because we've seen them. But yeah. And then still have some work to do. Didn't quite get the hallways finished. I had hoped to get there. Didn't quite make it. But if we come on out here, you can see the work that has been done. And I'm once again going to crank my render distance so we can actually get a full view of the ship that we have been building. I still have all the detailing on the outside of this to do. It was a huge project just to get the structure built. But yeah, this has been this season's project. And of course, if you missed it, the name of our ship is the Indomitable. And it has a back. It's not finished. It still needs the smaller engines, but the larger engines are built. Obviously, I need to come through here and deal with torch spam back here. That is something that we will be working on. And of course, the Enderman farm is on, and the beacons are all coming through. And so here we are. Yeah, I said this earlier in the episode, but from an official standpoint, this is episode 200 of OrgelCraft. Season 1 was 50 episodes, Season 2 was 70, and we are now 30 episodes into Season 3. We have built so much in this world, and there is still so much to do. But as I keep pulling all the way back here, we've built an entire Star Destroyer at a 2-to-1 scale. At a 1-to-1 scale, I have recreated the entire kingdom of Arendelle. I've taken on some fairly ambitious projects in this world, and yeah, still excited to keep going forward and to do lots of fun things in the future. But guys, I think that is going to do it for this episode. I know I ran really long, so I hope you appreciate it. And if you stuck around all the way to the end, let me know, because I will appreciate seeing who stuck around this far and got to see everything that is in this world. The Season 3 finale will probably be just a more comprehensive tour of the Star Destroyer here. But, guys, if you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to give it a like and share it with your friends. If you haven't already, I would encourage you to subscribe. If you just watched an hour-plus minute video of mine, why aren't you subscribed? Yeah. Be sure to check out my social media. Be sure to follow me on social media so you can stay up to date on all my latest posts. That's how I end this thing. Thanks for watching. We'll see you real soon, and may the Force be with you.